Hi there, Stephanie with Steffi Jewels, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make this easy bracelet using memory wire. This is a perfect beginner project as one size fits most, which makes it perfect for gifting or selling. The materials you will need today will be memory wire, beads to actually go on your wire, cutters. I am using these cutters that I got from a hardware store, but you can use some memory shears, and I will put that description link down below if you'd like to purchase those. Also, you will need a round nose pliers, where this will help make the loop at the end of the wire, so that way it kind of stops your beads from falling off the wire. An additional plier you need will be these flat nose pliers for you putting any type of charm if you want to put on the end of your bracelet. So to begin, what you need to do is grab your memory wire, and it's like a spring-like coil that just stretches out and it kind of springs back in shape. Now, one thing I would like to mention, that when you are cutting this wire, you do want to make sure you get cutters that are made especially for wire. You don't want to use any other cutters such as these flesh nail cutters that are made for cutting thread or thinner wire. And you definitely don't want to use any type of scissors, because with this coil being very tough and hard, it will actually either break your scissors, or over time it will actually damage these actual pliers and you will not be able to cut these anymore. So I recommend always getting either the memory shear wire that are made just for memory wire, or you can go to your local your local hardware store and find some actual industrial type cutters that will work perfect for here. So depending on how many loops you want to get that illusion that you're having multiple ones. So multiple bracelets. So here I have one loop, as you can see it kind of curves into one, two loops, and then three loops. So you want to have that illusion that you have multiple loops on here. So definitely do at least 2 to 3 loops. I like to say about 3 loops because it just makes it look a lot neater and not a lot prettier. So I will start here at one end and count 1 loop, 2 loops, and 3 loops, and then I will cut at the end. Also too, when you are cutting your wire, as you can see right here, this one is actually at the end. You want to cut the other side over here as well, so that way you kind of have it offsetting each other. So I'll take these cutters and I'll just snip it right here. Now, as I was saying, you definitely want to make sure you use some type of actual wire cutters that are made for this type of hard wire. If you were to try to cut it here, you could cut them, but over time you will end up damaging these and you have to get another pair. So my first suggestion is always use some type of cutters that are made for cutting thicker gauge wire. So once you got your loops cut here, now we're going to start stringing our beads on. So you want to take one end, doesn't matter which end you want to do, you can go on this side or this side, but you want to take one end, take your round nose pliers, and just catch it at the end here, just like that. Now, rule of thumb is you want to put your finger on the outside, because you don't want to feel nothing sharp there, because you want to make sure you catch it all the way to make that nice little circle. So here, I will curl it this way, and you're going to have to put a little pressure to it because this is memory wire, so it's kind of thick. So just like that, and then it closes up into a loop. Don't worry if you see a little gap there, and see if you can see this. Don't worry about if you see a little gap at the end of it. I'm trying to get that focus, and that's not going to get focused, so let me try this again. Oh. So don't worry if you see a gap there, as that is going to be covered with the beads. So just to start bringing and start stringing your beads along. Now you can come up with any type of pattern or shape. So I'm just going to start taking just random color of beads and just sticking it through here. So just any colors. I mean, I got all kinds of stuff in here. So just pick a bead, stick it on. And you'll be surprised actually at what kind of design you get just by kind of picking up random shapes. So as you start getting beads, you could just start shuffling down to the end, and there it will go to the end, and you just keep stringing your beads on. So I'm gonna go ahead and string some designs up, and I'll come back with the time to finish the end of it. So as you can see here, I got pretty much a nice little cool little pattern here, just by stringing on beads with just colors here and there. And I'm about halfway through here. So as I mentioned earlier, here's where my first half is. So I want to kind of end it right over here. So I'm just going to string a couple more beads on her. Like I said, just pick up random beads and just stick it on here. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, that you want to make sure that your beads actually fit through here. These range for size, I believe size 6s and up. So as long as the beads actually will fit in there, then you're okay. Or fit through the hoop here, you'll be all right. So you're just going to string a couple more on here. You're just picking up random colors, and I actually threw some seed beads in here. That's what these are right here, just to kind of give us some more space between these big beads. So let's see where we at right here. I want to make sure I'm actually kind of over here. So here's my loop here. So yeah, I got about maybe, if I do a couple of big beads, maybe 3 or 4 left. So let's go ahead and add, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and add one of these oranges to kind of break up some of those blues. Maybe a beige here. Another blue, let's see, use this light icicle blue. And then I'll probably, let's see, I'll grab one of these here. And I think that's about good right there. No, let me add one. Let me add like 2 more. So we'll do, see. Okay, here we go. And I kind of like to kind of add at the end here. So here's my little last sequence here. So since I have that one there, I'm gonna add one of these blues. I think I have one more of these left. Actually, here it is. One of these left. And then we're going to end it with a light blue. Actually, we'll end it with a lighter blue than that. No, we'll do this blue. That's the beauty about actually doing jewelry. You can basically put anything you want on there. It's to your heart content. So there we go. So now we're pretty much equal. So here's this end right here, and that's that end. So now, as you can see, I have this excess wire, and that's okay, you know. If you're just beginning, I said you're going to have that excess waste, sorry. So it's pretty much common to go ahead and have that. So, but once you get into this, then you can actually measure it, so you don't have to waste this wire. So one thing I like to do is when I cut my wire, I use this line right here in my finger, because that's how much wire I need. So I will put it right there on the line, as you can see right there, and then I'll cut it. Now, one thing you want to do, you want to kind of cut down, because you don't want the wire to fly everywhere. So that piece right there. And now it's time to close this loop up. So now I'll take my round nose wire here, and actually I can see that that's going to be a little bit too much of a wire. So I'm going to cut it just a little bit more. So same thing, I'm going to use that little crook of my finger right there, the little line, and I'm going to cut it one more time. And once again, you want to cut down so that way the piece doesn't fly on here. So that's perfect. So now I can actually grab it like I did before, run your finger through here, make sure you don't feel that edge, and you can always push that wire back. So now we're going to just turn it into a loop to close it, just like so. And now your actual piece is complete. Now you can leave it as it is right now, and as you can see, it works perfect. It just wraps around your wrist. And it kind of got a nice little, you know, springy summer boho look, I guess you can say. It's probably like a boho cheek look, I guess. So if you want, you can actually add some charms at the end of these right here, which is these loops here. And that is where these pliers come from. So to finish it out, I think I'm going to add, let's see, maybe a tassel to it. Here is a leaf there. So I think I'm going to add a leaf here. So you will need a couple of jump rings, and I have these little jump rings right here, pretty small sizes. You can actually just go ahead and loop it here, which in this case, I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Instead of adding that extra dangle, I'm gonna go here and just open up this loop a little bit. So let's try to do this while I'm on the camera. So you're just gonna kind of do a twisting motion right there. And you wanna slip that on her. Let's see here. If I can do that real quick. Yeah, it kind of get tricky because it's memory wire. And I don't think that's gonna actually, I don't think I'll open it wide enough. So let me do it again. There we go. Slip it through there, and then close it back up with another twisting motion. And I think I actually wide it open here, so let me just circle it back up. So you just take those pliers again and just make a little loop again just to close it up. And there, and that's basically how you add a little dangle. So it kind of gives that a little extra something when you add a little charm on it. You can do it on one side or both sides. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just leave it on one side for right now. But there you have it. A simple bracelet using memory wire. So if you liked that, please like and subscribe to this channel. Once again, this is your girl Stephanie with Steffi Jewels. And as always, you'll never know what treasure you'll find here at Steffi Jewels. Hope to see you soon.